We are back and ready for Basic Canes Part 2. We're going to do a real simple flower cane. It's a basis for a whole lot more. You can really get involved canes based on different components like this. You can see we have our bullseye in there with just one wrap that we just did a few minutes ago. So we're going to start by making that bullseye, and it only is going to have one wrap. Those are going to be our flower petals. So I just took some clay and rolled it out to a kind of a thick log. We're going to reduce that a little bit more, but I'm going to wrap it now. So I'm going to wrap it in black, just like our bullseye. I'm going to cut one edge, cut the next edge, lay it on there, line up the edge, fold it up. Oh, I forgot, I'm going to cut this edge too. And I'm going to fold it up. And we're going to tap it. See where that line is to cut. And sometimes it's amazing how wiggly that line is, but you swear you just cut a fresh edge. Alright, again we're going to just butt that up. And smooth it out. Like that, get it a little smooth. There's so many components going into these canes that you really should teach yourself to finish each stage, because if you go on to the next stage and that's not really smooth, you know, it's just going to be room for a little bit of distortion. Every layer you add onto a cane is more reason for distortion in the long run. And so the better job you do at each step, the better it'll be in the long run. Having said that, I'm not going to really finish doing it just that way. Okay, so while we're doing this is actually I need this a little bit longer, so this will be your first introduction to reducing a cane. Reducing cane means that you want to make it smaller than it is right now. And you might think, oh, I'll just roll it like a snake. But that's really going to distort it. There's no way that sort of circular core is going to stay circular. So you kind of want to do a combination of pressing in the middle, because you really want to kind of force the inside as well as the outside to come out, and pulling. So if you watch my fingers in the middle, I'm pressing down and I'm pulling. You start in the middle and you go to the ends. And you just keep going back. You can see it's getting longer. You can do a little bit of rolling. Not a whole lot, because you really don't want to distort that middle. You may think you're doing fine, but then when you cut into your cane, you realize, oops, I squished it. A couple steps back. So at this point, this isn't a complex cane, but you can do some tugging and pulling and pinching. But you don't really, you're not gonna distort a huge figure inside of there. So do a little bit of that. One little quirk about canes is your ends are always going to be lost. There's always so much distortion at the end that it's just not gonna, you're not going to be able to save it. So don't worry about that. You can see how it's squishing out there. Don't worry. You're going to lose part of your cane. So, all right. So if you look at back here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to cut this into 6 pieces. I would say 6 equal pieces is your goal. Let's see how I do without my ruler. I'm going to take it in half first. When you cut a cane, if you cut straight down, you're going to have the most chance of distortion. So actually, I'm kind of rolling it a little bit, so I'm not really putting a tremendous amount of pressure on that one spot. Because this clay is so soft, and I didn't let it rest at all, I'm going to have distortion there too. But it's going to become the end of my cane, so distortion will happen. So we want 6, so I'm just going to kind of eyeball Oops, not that well. We'll just pretend. Okay, so I have my 6. We're going to pretend that the clay isn't so soft. We're going to pretend that it's equal size. Okay, you with me here?